Imagine announcing to the entire world that you are pregnant, preparing the royal cradle, choosing the baby's name, and then discovering there was never a baby at all. This really happened. Two powerful queens, and the whole world watched. We are talking about women who ruled entire nations, women with armies at their command, women who decided the fate of millions. But when it came to producing an heir, something went terribly wrong. And not just once, several times, with consequences that changed the course of European history forever. Today, we are telling the story of the queens who announced pregnancies that never existed, and how this shattered reputations, dynasties, and even entire countries. In the 16th century, being a queen meant one thing above all else. You had to produce children. It was not optional. It was not something you could postpone. It was, quite literally, your most important duty. More important than ruling. More important than making laws. More important than winning wars. Because without an heir, everything collapsed. Without a son, a dynasty ended. Without a son, the kingdom risked civil war. Without a son, you were considered a complete failure, no matter what else you had achieved. And for some queens, that pressure became so intense, so suffocating, so desperate, that their own bodies began to lie to them. Let us begin with the most famous case of all, Mary I of England. Mary was the daughter of Henry VIII, the king with 6 wives, 2 of whom he had executed. Henry was obsessed with producing a male heir. So obsessed that he created an entirely new religion in England simply to divorce his first wife, Mary's mother, because she failed to give him a son. Mary grew up watching her father destroy her mother's life for that reason alone. She watched him marry again and again, relentlessly searching for the perfect heir. She saw women discarded, humiliated, and executed. So when Mary finally became queen at the age of 37, after years of fighting for her throne, she knew exactly what was expected of her. She needed an heir, and she needed one quickly. The problem was that, by the standards of the time, Mary was already considered too old to conceive. Even so, she married Philip of Spain. And just a few months after the wedding, she made an announcement that sent England into celebration. She was pregnant. The news spread across Europe. Letters were sent to foreign courts. Thanksgiving services were held. The royal cradle was prepared. Wet nurses were hired. Mary began producing breast milk. Her abdomen enlarged. She felt movements inside her. Everything suggested that this time she would finally succeed. Physicians examined her and confirmed it. She was pregnant. Without question, the birth was expected in May 1555. When May arrived, Mary withdrew into confinement, as was customary. Midwives stood ready. The entire country waited, and waited, and waited. May passed. June arrived. No child. Whispers began to circulate. Foreign ambassadors sent doubtful reports back home. Mary's husband, Philip, grew impatient. He had married for politics, not love. Without an heir, there was little reason for him to remain in England. July came. Still nothing. Then, quietly, without any official announcement, Mary emerged from confinement. There was no baby. There never had been. But how? She had all the signs. The swollen belly, the milk, the movements. The doctors had confirmed it. Today, we understand what almost certainly happened. Mary suffered from false pregnancy, also known as It is a condition in which the body imitates every symptom of a real pregnancy. The abdominal muscles relax. The belly enlarges. Hormones shift. Menstruation stops. Breast milk appears. All of it driven by extreme psychological pressure. The desire to be pregnant becomes so overwhelming that the brain deceives the body itself. For Mary, the humiliation was devastating. She was Queen of England, and she had announced her pregnancy to the world. Now the world believed she had failed. Or worse, that she had lied. Or worse still, that she was unwell. Philip returned to Spain, and effectively never came back. Yet Mary did not give up. 2 years later, in 1557, she announced another pregnancy. The same symptoms, the same growing belly, the same anticipation, and once again, nothing happened. This time, even Mary could not maintain the illusion for long. The pregnancy simply vanished. No explanation. No child. Mary died in 1558 without heirs, remembered as a failure. Her half-sister Elizabeth took the throne and learned the lesson well. She never married, never attempted motherhood. It was safer to be the Virgin Queen than to endure the same public humiliation. But Mary was not alone. Joanna of Portugal, Anne of Denmark, and Margaret Tudor all experienced similar suspicions. Accusations or documented false pregnancies, each tied to succession crises, political instability, and ruthless public judgment. In every case, a woman's value as a ruler was reduced to one brutal question: did she produce an heir? You might wonder how physicians of the time failed to realize these women were not truly pregnant. The answer is simple. 16th-century medicine was dangerously limited. Doctors were forbidden from conducting invasive examinations on queens. There were no pregnancy tests, no ultrasound, no reliable way to listen for a fetal heartbeat. The only definitive proof of pregnancy was childbirth itself. And perhaps, more importantly, everyone wanted these pregnancies to be real. The husband wanted an heir. The court wanted stability. The kingdom wanted to avoid war. So doubt was quietly ignored, until silence became impossible. Were these queens deliberately deceiving the world? Were they hiding pillows beneath their gowns? Almost certainly not. In most cases, these women genuinely believed they were pregnant. Their bodies responded to unbearable pressure with real, physical symptoms. They were not liars. They were victims. Victims of expectation. Victims of politics. Victims of a system that reduced powerful women to wombs. These queens ruled nations. They made laws. They commanded armies. Yet history judged them not by their leadership, but by their bodies. Their stories remind us that power does not protect against psychological collapse, and that sometimes the most ruthless force in history is expectation itself. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more dark and unbelievable moments from real history.